So now let's move on to the next item on this in this lab. We can bring existing data sets such as a spreadsheet into R. So you can create a data set, you can create a spreadsheet within R. But more often, we know that we can create some data sets outside R. For example, we can create a spreadsheet with Excel, and then we can bring the Excel file that we have created outside R into R. Okay. Now let's see how we do that. To do that, we need some specific special functions from R. As we said before, that R, when you download R, you have a core of basic functions that comes with R. Those basic functions exist within R that you can use them, and like 3 plus 4 equal to 7, those basic functions, they work anytime you want. But also there's some special functions that exist within R when you download them, but they're not always available. If you want to use them, you have to call them. Let's do this experiment. Let's go to this here. You have tab. There's a tab called Packages. Here you click this Packages. Go to Load Packages. Now within this folder shows that all the basic functions that are in different packages that come with R when you initial download R to your program. So these are all different packages that comes with R. Within those packages, they contain different functions. And for example, this package base contains some basic functions that allow you to find some medians of a variable, or do some plus, minus, division, multiplications. So those are basic functions that exist within R. And this base is already is loaded into R when you open the R the first time. But there are functions in R that had not been loaded into R to work yet. Therefore, we need to call those functions into R so that we can use them. Okay. Now, if you want to bring Excel dataset into R, you need to call this particular function that is called XLSX. This is a Excel file extension. So this is called for this we call this a package. So the functions of R to deal with Excel document exist within this package. To call this package from R, we need to use this command called library SLSX. So this package is called XLSX. It already exists within R, but to use it, you need to use this function to call it out so that we can use the function. You can also use the command such as require XLSX. Okay. Now let's do it. Let's run this line. Okay. Let's run this line. After you run this line, now this command is ready. So this is the result you get. So this package is loaded in R. We can use this function to bring Excel Excel file into R. Now we use this command. See, read.xlxx parentheses, within parentheses we type file.truth and parentheses and comma, and this one here means that we want the sheet number 1, the first sheet, the sheet you put on the top. Let's go back to the state. This Excel file that we're going to use. There are 2 sheets here. States is one. Also, you have another sheet. Now, 2 sheets here. The states is on the top of another sheet. So state actually is sheet number 1. Okay, it's on top of the other sheet. So state is actually sheet number 1. Therefore, when you come to write this command, you write we're on sheet number 1. Okay, let's run that command. Okay, let's run this command here. And here, this part is that we assign this Excel file the name data. So we call this file data after we bring that file into R. So let's run this. Yeah. So after you run this, you can really see that R asks you to go to the folder where you saved that file to get it into R. So I'm going to go to the folder where I saved the file that it states this Excel file, this file. Okay, let's click open. Now see there's no error message, and this data file is now exists within R. So if you use Macintosh, you use run R through Macintosh, you cannot use this command directly because it's a file choose command does not work in Macintosh. So instead, you need to write out the specific path on the computer that directly take you to the folder where you save your Excel file. For example, I gave you this example is that if you use Macintosh, you need to use this command. Okay, and you need to see users and / my folders. My folders need to be replaced by some specific path. I have examples on the on lab worksheet. You need to read the examples more carefully regarding how to bring Excel file into your Macintosh computer R. Okay. Now after we bring the Excel file into R, we call it data. Now let's take a look at the data. What it looks like is we use a fixed data. Okay, let's run this line. Now we can see this is this spreadsheet. This spreadsheet within R looks very similar to the one that we see on Excel spreadsheet. So this is the spreadsheet data form, the data frame that we see in Excel. Let's go to Excel. See, this is a Excel spreadsheet, so they look very similar. Okay, so that's why we like to bring Excel spreadsheet into R so that we can work with those the data that exists within spreadsheet. Okay. Now let's take a look at what kind of data, what kind of a file the data is. Let's see. So we run this command line class data. Okay, let's run this. Tell us a data frame. So data frame is something within R that looks very similar to the spreadsheet from Excel. Okay. So now what we did basically is to bring an Excel file into R, and in the form of a data frame, in the form of a data frame. A data frame in R is very similar to the spreadsheet in Excel. Okay.